How's everybody doing? This Move House Max. Welcome to the Lion's Den. So look, I'm gonna talk about damage in Undisputed because right now there's a big issue when it comes to damage in this game. Um, usually, the spammers they're utilizing this damage system where it's like 3 points on the head, so 3 damage points on the head, 3 damage points on the body. And they're spamming one side to try to get an easy rock. That's all they're doing. And also, when you get players that play seriously, like play for real, there's no way of getting a good rock or a good flash knockout. It's all just I don't even know how you would say it. I see more combination knockouts than anything. I don't see no pop one shot drop, pop one shot does damage, one shot's rocking somebody. It's usually a build up of damage. And it should not be that way. There needs to be systems in place where you can reward good timing, good foot placement, and good counter punching too. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about 3 different damage systems that you can add into this game to make it even better, to make it ultra simulation, ultra realistic. We're going to talk about intercepting punches, vulnerability of punches, and we're going to talk about counter punches and how much that matters in boxing. But without further ado, man, let's get into the first topic. Alright, so we're going to talk about intercepting punch damage. What does that mean? So, intercepting punch damage is basically what happens when you catch your opponent as he throws his. Whether it's, oh, he's throwing an uppercut and I'm throwing a right hand down the pipe. I'm catching him first. That's an intercepting punch. Right now in this game, it's the intercepting punch is not really there. You can intercept punches and you can do it all the time with power punches, fast punches, and it just doesn't do damage. There's nothing in place for it to count as, oh, this is perfect timing. Boom, you're hurt. This is perfect timing. Oh, be careful. Like you're hurt now. Like your health dropped because of this timing. He's timing your shots. And I've done this plenty of times in Undisputed. I would land straight right hands, power right hands at the perfect time and nothing would happen. And right here, this is a perfect example of an intercepting punch. So what you saw was a perfect example of an intercepting punch. Better BF lands a big right hand on Yar's chin, hurt him so bad it changed the whole direction of the fight. Anthony Yard went for, I believe, a right uppercut, and Better BF caught him with a right hand first, a straight right hand first. Listen, straight punches always beat looping punches, whether it's an uppercut or a right hook. Hooks. And Better BF timed it perfectly. In Undisputed, when you time punches like this perfectly, you don't really get that ripple effect that you would in a real fight. When you land shots like this in a real fight, it changes the entire fight. You're hurt bad. Single punches don't really matter too much in Undisputed. Adding an intercepting punch system would do that. And I'm going to show you another intercepting punch. Now we have Leigh Wood versus Lara. This fight recently happened. So what happened was they both threw a hook at the same time. Leigh Woods is just a little too short and not too accurate, and guess what happens? Lara cracks him on the chin, drops him. He ends up getting up, but look, these are the effects of intercepting punches. Punches that land first. The punches that land first is usually the ones that's going to hurt you. And the ones that you can't see usually hurt you the most. When you land a big intercepting punch, as somebody throws theirs, it does bad damage, bro. It does very bad damage. when you time it perfectly, when you time your punch perfectly, you should be rewarded in this game. But I don't see that much. It's always combination punches. You gotta land a whole bunch of combination punches, and maybe you'll get somewhere. And I feel like there's two things wrong. The 3 points on the head, 3 points on the body, damage system. It's not. It's not rewarding you. It's not rewarding you because everything is in their separate damage systems. So you gotta kind of, I guess you could say, mess around with the damage, mess around with different parts of the body, different parts of the head, different parts of the body to try to get some good damage in. So it doesn't reward you for single shot punches that's timed perfectly. Your foot placement can be perfect, superb, and you can land a perfectly timed shot, but it's just that damage is just not there. That damage is just not there. That damage that can change the fight and keep your opponent's health dropped. It doesn't go into, I guess you could say, let's say if I drop somebody, right, with a big timed shot, and I drop someone, when he gets back up, he should still be a little hurt. I'm not saying rocked, but his health should still be low. Like, oh shit, like I got hit with a big shot. It's time for me to be on my skates a little bit, because this shot just hurt the hell out of me. He timed it perfectly and he dropped me. You don't get that in this game. I'm hoping that they do add intercepting punches. I mean, there's intercepting punches, you can do it, but the effect isn't there. Hopefully they add a system where it rewards you for perfect timing, perfect foot placement. And yeah, man, that's that for intercepting punches. We're gonna get into the next topic now. All right, now we're gonna talk about vulnerable punch damage. Again, what does that mean? What does vulnerable punch damage mean? Means it means that when you're throwing punches, right? I mean, when your opponent's throwing punches at you, and you lean into one of those punches, whether it's, oh, I dug down into this big ass uppercut, or if he throws a right hook and I lean into that hook, not really thinking on where his punch is gonna be thrown, that's gonna do big damage. So again, it ties in with timing. It ties in with timing, foot placement, and rewarding you. This video is just all about creating the perfect damage system that's gonna reward the players for good timing, good foot placement, and smart boxing IQ in the game, and it's gonna reward you for that. Vulnerable punch damage. If you see your opponent bobbing and weaving, leaning back, and you catch them, mid weave, or you catch them as they're, I saw this one player. He was just leaning back the whole time. If I hit you and you're just leaning back, and I just catch you like that, you should be hurt. Your chin's exposed. You should be hurt. If any one of you just stood there leaning back, and somebody hits you right on the chin, you're gonna fall. I'm sorry, but you're gonna fall. Same can be said when you lean into big punches. If you walk into big punches, like this one I'm gonna show you right now, like this one video I'm gonna show you right here. He runs into that punch. He runs into the punch. So two things happen. One, all of his momentum is going forward right into Deontay Wilder. So that vulnerability, that momentum, it's carrying him into this big punch. And Deontay Wilder makes him pay. All that momentum going forward, Deontay Wilder hits him with his right hand. His famous right hand, puts him to sleep. And that's what vulnerability is. Not only are you leaning into punches, all your momentum is being carried into your opponent's punch, which rewards you big time. More than intercepting punches most of the time. when you walk into big punches, when you walk into those big shots, you should be hurt. I'm not okay. Look, with these damage systems I'm talking about, yes, of course, you shouldn't like 100% be hurt all the time. No, but there should be a big penalty for you walking into shots, for me intercepting punches on you, and stuff like that. When it comes to these, when it comes to vulnerability damage, and you all your momentum drives into these punches, yeah, you're gonna be hurt. You're gonna be very, very hurt. And Deontay Wilder's opponent paid a big price. He was throwing punches, throwing punches. All his momentum was going forward as he was throwing punches. So not only is that an intercepting punch, but that doubles up. Not only did he intercept your punch, he also saw your momentum and threw his punch, timed it perfectly. Vulnerability, momentum, intercepting. That tied in together equals a knockout for Deontay Wilder. And I want to see that in this game. I really want to see that in this game, because when you time these punches, when you land these big punches on somebody that's weaving or somebody that's just moving forward the whole time, right? You can't really do much with that. Like, I'm Deontay Wilder. He's moving forward. My opponent's moving forward. I crack him with a big right hand as he's trying to throw punches going forward, trying to spam punches, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. I would like to see these guys implement these systems to reward players. Reward players for good boxing, for good timing, good accuracy, and just good boxing knowledge. If you time my weave, if you time my weave or slip and you catch me, I want you to be rewarded for that. It doesn't matter if I get knocked out, it doesn't matter if I get dropped or hurt, whatever the case is. If you're boxing better than me in this game, I want you to be rewarded, and I want to be rewarded too. But yeah, that's all I have for vulnerability. Hopefully they can add that too. That's just an extra layer of damage. Remember guys, I'm going to talk about stamina in the next video. But the last topic I have for you guys is counter punches. So they did some work with counter punches, but I don't feel counter punches are as deadly in this game as it should be. I see so many people do counter punches, and sometimes it's not that damaging. It's there. They have an idea on where they want the counter punching to go, but they can definitely take it to the next level. We all know it's the shots that you don't see coming that knocks you out. And when you land a perfect counter punch, it can, dude. You know what? I'm gonna let the video talk. For me. Here, check it out. So as you can see, obviously we all know this. Counter punches do crazy damage. It's when you time them right, when you make those adjustments to counter punch, and you can land those shots perfectly, you could do big damage. You saw what Oscar did to, is it Oscar? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's Oscar knocking out Berchelt. He caught him as he was running in. Remember what I was talking about in the earlier earlier part of the video, all that momentum going forward, intercepting the punch, that vulnerability mixed in with that counter punch, that's a recipe for a KO. That's a recipe for a KO. If you can bait somebody, and look, this damage system, this is what it's gonna promote. It's gonna promote traps. It's gonna promote baiting, because you gotta have all these tactics. If you want to utilize these systems and utilize them correctly and get rewarded big time, you're gonna set traps. You're gonna bait. You're gonna make sure your timing is right. Your foot placement is right. Make sure you're at your distance, your fighting distance. And we're going to see knockouts. We're going to see more knockouts. But we're also going to see better fights. We're going to see people be a little bit more patient. See, because right now, everybody's brawling. Everybody's brawling. Everybody's trying to get big combinations in. The spammers, they're just spamming one side of the body, one side of the head. Because, you know, if you could chip away at that body part, what's the use in you hitting other body parts? What's the use in mixing it up, doing all these different timing things, when you could just land on one spot for the whole fight until you get a rock or a knockdown? That's why they got to fix that 3 points to the head, 3 points to the body damage system. But back to counter punching. When you land big counters, bro, you should be rewarded. But like I said, man, if these are implemented correctly, especially with a better stamina system, dude, the sky's the limit. But these are my 3 points. These are my 3 points. Add an intercepting punch system that rewards you for perfectly timed punches. Add a vulnerability system. You know, the physics, the momentum, that stuff. If your momentum's going forward, obviously if your opponent cracks you while all your momentum's going forward, he should be rewarded. If your momentum's going left or right and he hits you while you're weaving, it should hurt you. If you're moving to the side that he's punching towards, if you're moving out to your left and, you know, I catch you while you're moving that way, as your head is going that way, although all that momentum, bro, you should be hurt. You definitely should be hurt. But yeah, that vulnerability system, add that into place, so it forces people to, okay, I'm gonna move my head smart. I'm gonna try to slip these punches, because you got to understand something. When you have a vulnerability system, it's gonna make people try to understand what their opponent's doing, that way, so that they don't get caught. But it's also gonna reward them. So like, it's a risk. It's a high risk, high reward. If you can slip and not get caught, if you can bob and weave and not get caught and land big counter punches, you're gonna be rewarded. But if you're constantly doing that and your opponent figures you out and he lands it where your head is going to be, well, now you got a problem. Now he figured you out and he's gonna be rewarded big time. So there's a lot of high risk, high reward, and that's how boxing is, especially at the high levels. High risk, high reward. But man, this is pretty much all I got for you guys, man. If you want a good damage system that rewards people, and I know I'm sounding repetitive, but I want this game to be the best it can possibly be. I really, really do. The damage and stamina definitely needs work. It definitely needs work. If you want a simulation boxing game, Steel City Interactive, if you guys want a simulation boxing game, a hardcore simulation boxing game like you guys were touting, you gotta go this direction. I showed you what intercepting punches are, what vulnerability looks like, and obviously counter punching. I showed you this. Implement it into the game. Intercepting, vulnerability, counter punching. That should be your focus when it comes to when it comes to damage. The counter punches are gonna be there. The counter punches, the counter punches, the combination punches are gonna be there. It is. This whole fight, you seen me getting teed off with combination of punches. So, add these systems, man. Reward people, big time, big time. But that's all I got for you guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. It helps out the channel so much, and it helps me out so much. You guys don't understand. And share this video, man. Go on Twitter, bro. Go on Twitter. Share this video at Play Undisputed, at Steel City Interactive. Let's get the message out there. We want a hardcore simulation damage system that rewards us for good boxing. Peace and love, baby. I hope you guys stay safe. Have a good day, man. And yeah, peace.